Now to a story that's very personal for me for a reason that I'm going to explain to you in just a little bit. Hold off. First, the facts, right? The story is about a plan in Florida, my home state, by the way, to release 750 million mosquitoes that have been modified genetically into the air in the Florida Keys and other parts of South Florida. So the idea is to try and get the good mosquitoes to take over the mosquito population by essentially pushing out or pushing down the bad mosquitoes, the ones that can give you Zika and dengue fever and malaria. The mosquitoes have been altered so that the females, the ones that bite, die before they reach maturity and start biting you and me and possibly getting us really sick. Fascinating, right? Let's get more from RT's John Huddy in Miami.
It's enough to make your skin crawl. The Florida Keys Mosquito Control District approved a plan to release 750 million, quote, non-biting male genetically modified mosquitoes over a 2-year period in the Florida Keys starting in early 2021. The Environmental Protection Agency approved the pilot project back in May to test if a genetically modified mosquito is a better alternative to spraying insecticides at a cost of nearly $1 million a year to control the type of mosquito that carries deadly viruses in the Keys, including Zika, dengue, and yellow fever. A U.S.-owned British-based company called Oxitec created the modified mosquito named OX5034 and describes its project as friendly mosquito technology, explaining that its mosquito has been altered to produce female offspring that die in the larval stage before hatching and growing large enough to bite and spread disease. Oxitec says its program has been successful in places including Brazil, Panama, and the Cayman Islands, but the project is not without contention. Various environmental groups, community members, and national organizations warn the plan could backfire, producing a more resilient hybrid mosquito instead. J.D. Hansen of the Center for Food Safety said in a statement, quote, "With all the urgent crises facing our nation and the state of Florida, the COVID-19 pandemic, racial injustice, climate change, the administration has used tax dollars and government resources for a Jurassic Park experiment." This robo-skeeter, if you will, has also been approved to be released in Harris County, Texas next year. So far, close to 234,000 people have signed on a Change.org petition to, quote, tell the EPA no genetically modified mosquitoes. For the news with Rick Sanchez, John Huddy.
I told you I wanted to share something that's somewhat personal for me about this story. Not too many years ago, as I was a young correspondent, I was sent to cover a story in Central America during the Contra War. While I was there, I was bitten by a female Anopheles mosquito. The female Anopheles mosquito gave me malaria. Didn't know it until 7 or 8 months later when I was in the hospital. They actually called my priest so he can declare and give me the last rites because everyone thought that I could possibly die, because many people do die from malaria, and mosquitoes are the transmitter. It's with that I want to bring in now an expert, Dr. Reese Halter, who's a biologist and a wildlife expert. I share that story because people think of mosquitoes as something that makes you uncomfortable or it can bite you. No, mosquitoes are one of the biggest killers among all animals in the entire world, something you know very well. So here's the question. Is it worth it, even if there's some risk involved, to do something like this to eliminate these mosquitoes, Doctor? Oh, I'm told now that we just lost the mosquito expert. Did we? Can I hang on for just a little bit to see if we can get him back, or is he gone? Let's see. I'm going to count to 3. 3, 2, 1, boom. Doctor, you're there. Yeah. Rick Sanchez. There you go.
I am here. Look, Rick, we live in very challenging times, and it is warfare. Yes, it's aggressive. Yes, there are problems with genetically modified this, that, and the other. But the reality is these are males. Their goal is to, as all males do, impregnate the female and reduce the spread of these infectious diseases. Now, one unintended consequence of burning fossil fuels, the global heating situation, our oceans, are allowing the mosquitoes to move north. So this particular mosquito does not carry malaria, but malaria has been in the United States. We got rid of it in the 50s with dumping a lot of DDT into the environment. I think that we're okay here. My colleagues in far north Queensland, for the first time in 100 years, have got rid of dengue fever with a similar kind of experiment of releasing a lot of mosquitoes with a bacteria that have allowed them to be free and clear. So it's risky, but hey, what isn't risky, right?
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating conversation.